record this. So welcome, folks. We're very pleased this morning to be in collaboration with my good friend and colleague, Steve Brossman. And Steve's going to share his genius for a little while this morning. And the concept that we're working on is built around this idea of, Steve calls it flow selling. I think it's a little bit broader than that. It's actually about flow engagement. It's about being in flow and engaging with each other in business and in life in ways that resonate, so that human beings are collaborating on work that matters with people who care in order to get the result that they are seeking. And results come in a whole bunch of different formats. So if you're not currently on mute, maybe put yourself on mute. So that's the context, and Steve is going to fill out lots more of those gaps and that thinking around that concept. Before we get going, though, I'd like to share with you who Steve Brossman is. Turns out Steve knows how to run. He's one of Australia's Forrest Gumps. Steve's a former national professional track champion, and he's got the hips to prove it. I think a false one and a real one still.
Yeah, mate.
While he's not running, Steve's he's got a sore hand because he's always writing. He's got 9 Amazon best sellers in the marketing and sales space, and a soon to be released flow selling book, how to create a stream of quality clients who are in a hurry to buy from you. Steve's had his own for 20 years, Steve, your own TV and video sort of show, including a show on Channel 9, which I didn't actually know about, so you can fill us in on that if you like. And he's been an executive producer at Warner Brothers. He's created a bunch of businesses, many of them 6- and 7-figure multinational businesses in 26 countries. Blah, 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 not to dishonor what Steve has done, except to say he's got a bunch of accolades that position him to be really helpful for some of the others of us that are in business seeking to make a difference. So Steve, welcome. Thank you for the collaboration. Thank you for being you. It's over to you.
Thanks, Greg. I'm not a Forrest Gump. If you remember the movie Forrest Gump, I probably would have got to the front gate. I was a sprinter. I was a national 200-meter champion, so definitely not a Forrest Gump. So what I like to do fast, hard, and get some great results fairly quickly. Really excited to be working with you guys. You and I have been on and off working together for a couple of years now. Done some work with Steve, some good quality work, and really getting to know what Andy does. And I don't do joint presentations. So to work with you guys and to say, yeah, we are going to collaborate, we are going to do a joint presentation, and we are going to do a joint program, which we'll let people know at the end of this, basically says the quality of your work and the synergy of what we do just dovetails together. So I'm excited about what we're starting today and the results and the impact we're going to have on people's lives and businesses. I'm just going to quickly start sharing and give an overview of what we are going to do today. It's the art and the science of creating client flow magic. And I call it art and I call it science. I don't call it how to become a hotshot salesperson. And today is all about the culmination of around 5 years of research of other people's knowledge, information, and studies to be able to pack it in here. How can we better understand the people that we work with, deliver what it is that they really need and want, package and communicate it in a way that they want to buy from us? This is the anti-selling. And I asked the question, and I can see most of your screens here. Put a hand up if you say, oh, I want to become a hotshot salesperson, or I really want to understand my people and have more people buy from me. Because if you want to have more people buy from you and really make an impact in their lives, this is the right place. If you want to learn the latest ninja tricks and sales things that you can trick people into buying from you, there's the virtual door. Get the hell out of here, because you're not going to get any of that today. It's really the understanding. And flow actually stands for frequently leveraged outcome wins. And science has shown through evolution that when an animal, fish, and human had a win, we had a surge of dopamine and testosterone. And when we can get people to feel good, understand, and have that motivation and that surge of confidence to work with us, that's when they're going to be in a hurry to buy from you. So there's going to be a mix of science in here. I'm keeping it to a minimum, but it's how you can engage better with your people and provide greater value. And for that, let me know why you're here. Quickly type in Steve's the other Steve is the moderator of the chat. Why is it that you're here today? What are you looking for? What is it that I can best deliver in a way that's really going to help you? And if I understand that, then I'm going to be able to deliver you the best session possible. So anybody got their keyboards working? What is it that you're looking for? Why are you here today? I might be able to write a few in. Okay. Take my passion, shine. Fantastic. Be able to communicate that so people know the value of your passion. We're great. Better sales, high ticket items, and directions, insights. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. So why are you here today? Would you like, how many of you would want more exposure, more leads, easier sales, more clients? So I guess most people would want that. But the biggest question is, I don't like working with wanters. How many of you are actually committed? How many of you are going to do what it takes to do that? Because you can sit in these free webinars, seminars, whatever you want to call it, and you can say, yep, I want that. I'm going to go and get some great information, take it away, and I'll go have a crack at it. But how many of you are, excuse me, committed to take the next step to really take this information and implement it and make a bigger impact on the people that you're actually working with? Those who are committed, here's my commitment to you. Today, I'm going to give you some information. The goal is to help change your mindset around sales. A lot of people are scared of sales. They hate sales because they've been lied to and they've been given the training that really causes a lot of stress. And that really bugs me. For nearly 7 years, I was hiding behind the fact that I was doing authority marketing. Yet for those 7 years, all of my clients were saying, Steve, this is the best sales training ever. And I said, don't you dare call me a sales trainer, because I didn't want to be one of them, until I realized that everything was leading up to the point where they could have better discussions and make better sales without having to be the pushy salesperson. So the goal is to change your mindset. It's also to give you a proven framework, something that's proven, not only out there in the marketplace, but scientifically proven. I'm confident. I may say things today that sounds arrogant. It's not because of my belief. It's based on other people's research that I have that confidence. So I'm giving you stuff that works and is proven. And I'm going to share with you how the heck you can actually use it and feel comfortable and good about it. I'm also going to give you some lifelong skills, stuff today that you can take, you can use, you can implement and use it for life. So I'm going to get you on your piece of paper to actually draw this. I'll make sure I got the right color up. And here we go. So on a piece of paper, divide it in half. And you can call it whatever you might. You might want to call it an aha, a breakthrough, a strategic point, a something. Okay. But then on the other side, I will continually talk today about two different values: the value that you provide people and the values that you can take to the bank or your clients take to the bank. They could be financial or they could be emotive. Okay, those of you who work in health, wellness, lifestyle, personal development, a lot of the values that you will deliver your people will be emotive values, but they're still values. They don't have to be dollars and cents. So when I talk about results and values, please know that I'm talking about the two different types, the financial and the emotive value that you can actually have and work with. So here's the interesting scenario that we actually have right now. So this is your business. And a lot of people will talk about getting clients to the front gate. You know, lead generators. They will be people that want to give you exposure and positioning, speaker trainers, getting on podcasts, book authors. They're all about getting you exposure and getting people to the front gate. The reason I'm working with the boys from Ubuntu is they bring quality people to the front gate, fairly excited to work with you. The rest of my work with you today is how can we get them excited to jump the front gate, build the buying energy, run to the front door and knock on it and say, hey, listen, let me in. I want to work with you. Type in a capital E, just hit the capital E button if you would like to talk to excited people, and they're the people that are getting on your sales calls. Just type in an E, because working with Andy, Greg, Steve, they're going to share with you how you can have good quality people come to your front gate. I'm going to work with you and show you this system, the blueprint, how you can create an enrollment edge. Somebody there was talking about high ticket items and take your knowledge out there. This works for solopreneurs who are basically, they could just be simple life coaches, right through to I'm working with multi-billion-dollar corporations using exactly the same thing. So that's what we're looking at today, how we can get great people to your front gate, have them excited to run up the path, knock on the door and say, okay, let's work together. Quick scenario. Have you ever been in a situation, whether it's you having a sales conversation or whether you're on somebody else's call, where everything seems to be going well? You might be on a call, you're collaborating, you think you're doing a great job, you're doing a great presentation, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, hell, I have to sell. I've got to do that dreaded sell thing. My sales coach said, I've got to do the pitch right now. And then all of a sudden your energy changes. You become a different person. I know at times I've got to the point where I've got to do the pitch right now and it's the energy changes. So your energy drops, it changes. You become a little bit stressed, heart palpitations, your hands are sweaty. And the buyer, the person on the other side, they sense that and they think, oh, hang on, they're starting to be salesy right now. I'm pretty well out of here. So if you've got two magnets, you know that if you're holding them one way, you bring them together, you're never going to get them together. It'll just repel. And the harder you're in that sales conversation and you're going down the route of I've got to sell, then the energy is going to be repelling. You both walk away. They think, well, hey, that was a waste of time. And you think, you know what? I could have done a better job. And I know I could have helped them. And that's the thing. You've let them down because you know you could have helped them. But what if you turn it around the other way? You've got the magnets and you're having that great sales conversation. The energy is right. And you get to the point where you're collaborating. They're excited. And they're basically saying, this is fantastic. How do we work together? And the magnets just snap together. Now, do you want to have your magnets snap together? Or do you want to have them repel by doing the old school way of doing it? And it is all to do with your personal magnetic energy. That's what we work on, getting your personal magnetic energy right and the buyer's energy. It's all about the energy. It is this energy here, which is the research that I've just been geeking out on for the last 5 years. How do we work with this energy here so that you are both excited? Write down these 2 words: sales bliss. Now, sales bliss is when you both enjoy the journey, you both enjoy the conversation, and you are both excited about the sale, which is you working together. And that is a great place to be. And the goal is to share with you today how that could possibly happen for you. And I got a saying, and you may want to write this down: your energy levels will determine your income levels. How you create your own personal magnetic energy. And that doesn't mean you have to be the ever-ready battery bouncing around. It's how you can be empathetic, how you can connect and collaborate and co-create some solutions by understanding the people, that energy, and how you can have their buyer's energy at a high level even before you get to talk to them. So here is the enrollment edge. This is the blueprint that we're going to be talking about today, and how you're actually going to be using it to increase the buyer's energy so that they're flowing through your funnel, they're flowing towards you through the conversation and beyond when you actually start working. So we will kick off very shortly on your personal magnetic and the buyer's energy. And Greg and Andy and Steve are brilliant at helping people uncover who they really are and being able to express it and amplify it so people and more people will get to know them. The big thing here is empathy and how to understand what people really want, really need, and being the only solution for them. And then the next 3 pretty well fall in together. How to engage, excite, and enroll in a sales process that is enjoyable and it's consistent and it's fun. Okay. Did you know that there was a big survey done with businesses in 2022, just last year, that 84.4% of business owners could not clearly articulate their points of difference from their competitors? That's amazing. And when I ask people, what's your point of difference? Oh, I'm passionate about what I do. I'm good. I've got these qualifications. None of those are points of difference. You need to look at what you do differently, how you do it differently, but most importantly, how you communicate it differently. Not only write this one down, but tattoo this one on the back of your eyelids. Clarity creates cash. It does. When you are absolutely clear on who you are and what you do, you get confidence. If you are not sure, if you haven't got your point of difference, if you haven't broken out of the brown box and are absolutely clear on your points of difference and communicate it, you don't have confidence. When you don't have the confidence, you don't have the energy to get out there and portray that. So one of the first things is create the clarity. So clarity not only creates cash, it creates confidence that helps you change the energy. Confusion kills conversions. When you're really not sure, your people aren't sure, and they're basically judging you the same as everybody else. And we talk about the brown box syndrome. Internally, and I'm not going to get you to type in who you are and what you call yourself, but if you call yourself an A coach, a consultant, a trainer, an accountant, a something, pretty well you're in the brown box. And you're suffering from the brown box syndrome, which is you could be gold, you could be the best at what you do, but if you call yourself by the typical category that you may be in, then you're sitting on the shelf with all the other brown boxes and quite often being judged on the lowest common denominator, which is price. So if you're having to justify your price, what you do all the time, then you need to look at breaking out of the brown box syndrome. And I know the work that I know Andy in particular does at really uncovering your uniqueness and what it is that you do and who you are, helps you move from an A to a the. When you are the, you jump above the rest of the pack. 2 titles I've given myself over the last couple of years, depending on what I was doing, it was the authority catalyst, helping people stand out in their market, become the leader of the authority quicker and faster than most other people do. That was the authority catalyst. I had that for 5 years. Now with the new things that I'm doing, the sales innovator. So it's a the, which causes uniqueness, and people say, wow, that's interesting. What do you do? How do you do that? So here's our first bit that we're going to be working on, increasing the buying energy. So they're getting to the front gate, want to jump the front gate and run up to the front door. And so we've got the energy down the side and the buying experience along here. If you are a brown box and you say, I'm an accountant, I'm a trainer, I'm a coach, a something, then the buying energy is low because you're the same as others. Oh yeah, I could go and talk with another person. They're the same as you. The buying energy is quite low. The typical sales process is, yep, connect with them, qualify them, book them on a call. I will get you to type in while I'm actually going through the next bit. Those of you who do calls, and I would assume from what I've seen, that's most of you. What do you call your call? Do you call it a discovery call, a strategy call, a whatever call? Just type in the chat so I can have a quick look at what you do your call. A prospect call or the prospect call. What is it that they get? Yeah, a few coming through. Prospect call, 15 minutes for you. Okay. Get to know you call. Okay. Discover you call. Awesome. Okay. Got a few interesting ones there. Got a good group here. Get this out of the road. Okay. When you are an authority, you are perceived to be of greater value, somebody better to talk to. Later, we're going to be talking about creating your blueprint. There is a level above authority, which is a creator. And you can stand out a lot better than just being an authority. The next is to cultivate, not just qualify, but cultivate the relationship. Don't just dump content after content after content, the about me, learn more about me, aren't I good type of content. It's how do you create the relationship content? Give them videos that give them a taste of you, your personality. So they get that dose of the happy hormones kicking in. I like spending time with that person. This person makes me feel this. So you're cultivating a relationship, not dumping content so they can know about you. Okay. And then a high value outcome call. So the interesting thing is, stats are that if you call your call a discovery call, strategy call, a call like that, your buying energy reduces 37% just on the name of the call. Oh, it's a sales call. We know that because everybody's told to book in a sales call. If you can title it that has some sort of an outcome, a high value outcome call. Yeah, one of mine was an authority unpack, a prominence and persuasion review, prominence and performance review if I was selling my high performance coaching program. And it felt like they were getting something from it. I think Steve Dart's got the LinkedIn optimization review. Yeah, it's like, well, I'm going to review how your LinkedIn profile is performing and how we can best optimize it. The next thing that we always do in our training and teach the people to have a pre-call video, whether it's a pre-recorded or whether it's a personalized one. Virtually everybody that gets to talk to me has seen 2 videos and have seen some text, generally with a video in, before they even talk to me. So having that sequence over the last 7 years, I was going to ask, type in how many calls haven't turned up, but I'll go through just for the sake of time here. I've had 3 people not show up in 7 years. What would your productivity be like if you basically had 100% show up and were excited to talk to you? Now, that doesn't seem, there might be people back here see my videos and think he's an idiot. I couldn't stand spending any more time with him. Guess what? They leave. I still only get to talk to excited people who know what I do and are ready to talk with me. It makes a massive difference in you and your energy getting on with people. Say, oh, I saw those videos. It's really cool. You don't have to go through a lot of the basics. So what we're doing here is this building the buying energy, a little sequence that we teach our people to do is basically smashing down the front gate and having them run to the front door. Just type in smash. Just type in smash. If you want your prospects to smash down the front gate and run up the path, because I tell you, if you're not doing the cultivating and you're not doing this, you've got a long, windy path and chances are they're going to get lost. Here's an example of somebody who's done it all, and I've picked a super brown box industry. Financial planners. There's not many of them around, is there? No. So I picked one who was a client. He did our program, same sort of thing as we're going to be talking to you about at the end. And he was also a franchisee. So that's pretty brown box. He was a franchisee for Yellow Brick Road. He said, Steve, it's so competitive out there. What can I do? We checked the laws, what he could do within the franchise, and said, right, you can be your own authority. You can create something unique and you could use it in your own sales process. So with his unique background, he was a former mortgage broker, a financial planner, and he had some accounting background. So we created the 3-dimensional financial review. And he had the accelerated wealth creation blueprint. It was unique. He was the creator of, not a mortgage broker. He could stand side by side with 3 other brokers from the same company on the same trade show stand and nail 4-to-1 appointments. You say, hey, I'm a little different to most others. I've got a complete 3D financial review. We can A, B, C, D. When would you like to book in for your complete review? Instead of, hey, I'm a financial planner. Do you want my services? See the difference. Think about what you do. Go back to your aha sheet and say, well, if I was to jump out of being an A into a V, how would that work for me? So we created the blueprint. When people booked in for I don't think we've got any Americans here, so I'll just use postcode generated call, just a pretty well cold. They booked in as a lead on the Yellow Brick Road website. He sent them a video email basically saying, hey, Clyde here from Yellow Brick Road, St. Mary's. Great to see you book in. One of my great team's going to reach out, organize a convenient time for you to come in. We're actually going to go through your 3D financial review, which is going to blah, 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 blah. Really look forward to working with you so that we can benefit. What do you think that did for his results compared to anybody else in the company? Smash them. He had 84% cold leads book and show up to meetings. He boosted the buying energy along the way. He actually doubled his fees above the company standard. He doubled his conversion rates, doubled his referrals, because people weren't just saying, oh, I know a good financial planner. Oh, so do I. Hey, we've got this guy who's got a complete 3D review of your finances. You've got to go and see him. He collaborated with them. He's now left Yellow Brick Road, and we've created his own franchise, Your Local Money Mentor. Now, Did he become a hotshot salesperson, or did he just follow the system? He didn't have to. We didn't do any major sales training. It was getting the right people, being excited, the energy flowing towards them, and then conversing with them to create the solutions. It is the system, not the salesperson. So when you follow what we've created here, you don't have to become the hotshot salesperson. What you need to look at is, how are you communicating what it is that you do? Now, a lot of people are communicating. They may be doing great stuff, but they're communicating cold. There's plenty of it. It's pretty unappealing. It takes a while to heat up, but it does get there in the end. You don't have to shake your head, nod your head or anything, or acknowledge that, oh, that could be me. Or are you communicating diamonds? Immediately attractive, perceived as high value, and indestructible. And now that is an indestructible message. And the great thing is, that's one of the key expertise points that Andy, Greg, Steve do. They work with you to create your diamond message so that you can be seen as that unique leader in the marketplace and be seen as the real you. So we're going to go through a couple of things that, I'll get this out of the road, that they do. First, they uncover. They do a deep dive. They help you express, which is your diamond communication, amplify you, develop you, and support you. Today, we're really only going to look at the first couple, okay? And wouldn't you like to know the real you inside, be able to communicate it in a way that people just say, oh my God, I've got to work with you. That's the reason I've teamed up with these guys. So Stevie D, do you want to take yourself off mute, because you're the LinkedIn guru here?
Thanks, Steve. Let me just say how powerful this has already been. So thanks so much.
Oh, can I go home now? Oh, no, I better not. I've got to get to the good stuff. So here's one of the people that you've worked with, and you've got three things. There were more, three things that you identified and worked with him on. What can we do to identify those? What were the three key things that you did?
Yeah, well, first of all, like I spoke with most of my clients, people make an opinion on what they're going to do and move forward with someone's LinkedIn profile and invest their time as a value exchange from the first part of their profile, which is the banner, the image, persona image, which is the headshot photo, the name, and also that power and positioning statement, which is the diamond. Everyone's talking about the coal in that part of the power and positioning statement, where we go to the diamond straight away. We don't want anyone reading our client's profile to work hard to find out where this person's genius is. We bring it to the surface and percolate it to the top straight away.
So you were saying, okay, this is just a cookie cutter that anybody could get. Yep. Getting businesses on the first page of Google is pretty well as broad-based as a financial planner. You got all these Google experts that can do that. And the other thing that is hidden that you were telling me about was the keywords, the algorithms that tell LinkedIn who you are and what you do. So LinkedIn puts you in front of the right people. So correct. From what you said, he was strike three and he was out of here.
Yeah, he was starting to really wonder what was happening. So it was a complete turnaround.
Yeah. So what you've got here is a very powerful, as you call it, the powerful statement. I help dentists fill their books, etc. So that's tick the box. His title now, you said was very powerful. Dental practice growth specialist. I mean, that's, you know, that's strike two. You're still here. And his keywords behind the scenes that you did with him were quite powerful. So though, as you said before, there's more than those three things, but they're the three things that we can see right now. And for those of you that are looking at 1 and 2, I hope you're looking at what Steve did in just those 3 things. And what that generated, he told you that he got more impressions, more connections, and more conversations. He was pretty happy with the results, wasn't he?
Yeah, and even if you can have a look within his main banner there, he's even got subliminal message with young children with their teeth, because most parents want their children, well, all parents want their children to have great teeth. So even had those subliminal messages in the whole backdrop, which was really, really smart.
Yeah, the work with you do with your people on LinkedIn is quite powerful. And as you said, there's a lot of the hidden work that you do. Just type an S into the chat if you would like to have a call with Steve. Would anybody like to have a LinkedIn optimization call? I'm pretty sure there's, I'm seeing the numbers go up as they go through there. Good thing, and I'm going to be very open. We've got together and we've put a program together where we'll definitely include a call with Steve so he can review your LinkedIn profile and give you tips about what he can do. And LinkedIn, if it's your platform of choice, is very powerful if done the right way. And I know Steve has got some great things that he'll be sharing with you on the call. Here's some more work that the Ubuntu people have done. And I'm going to get you off mute, Gregory, because you're the person that's helped, you and the team have helped this.
Yep.
And for those of you who are out there, who are knowledgeable and are expertise in your own business, but feel like you're the hidden gem, pay attention to this one here. This lady here has gone from being a small swim school owner, aquatic therapist, to international speaker and authority with some very big things that are happening. Steve, I mean, Greg, do you want to give us a quick overview of what happened and what you guys did?
Yeah, this lady's been in the water for 42 years, having an impact. In the last 10 years, she made the decision to focus on children with challenges. And she's got 30 or 40 children that she works with one-on-one, but knows that there is so much more for her to contribute. Came to us and asked the question, how do I become seen and heard and the person of influence in my industry? It turns out that she is a unicorn. So we've worked with Ruth on her LinkedIn profile, plus a whole bunch of back-end support work that we've done for her. She's gone from swim school teacher to aquatic therapist expert to now, in the last 6 months, she's delivered 3 public speaking events. One was a TED-style talk. She's had 2 well-paid consultation engagements. Her LinkedIn work that Steve helped her with led directly to a collaboration with Canada's largest aquatic not-for-profit. And she's currently negotiating, and this has come directly from this work that we've helped her with, currently negotiating a consultancy role in Queensland with an international not-for-profit in the aquatic space. Now, this lady has gone from being frustrated, I just want to be heard, to she is jumping out of her skin and, you know, teetering on some enormous deals internationally.
A brilliant story. And the great thing is that she's still her. You've uncovered, as you do, you've uncovered her genius. You've helped her express it. You've amplified it. And as you guys said, you've actually done a lot of the work because you've got some done for you programs there to be able to get out there while she's just focusing on doing her genius. And that's absolutely brilliant. The next one is an interesting one because it's a lady that you were telling me about. She had this is actually a copy of a painting that she did and wanted to connect with Red Bull. Now, I don't know if anybody here does cold outreaching. I never say that it's a good thing, but probably one of the things that she would have had to have done would have probably be 100 rejected phone calls to get there. So you guys designed an amazing program where Red Bull rang her. Give us a quick rundown.
Andy, do you want to pick this up, mate?
Yeah, sure. So, in actual fact, she didn't want to contact Red Bull. She just wanted to be able to sell this painting. The trouble that she had was when she contacted me was she actually didn't get permission from Red Bull to paint the portrait from this gentleman. She got permission from the gentleman, but he's in Red Bull gear, which means for her to be able to sell it, she actually needs permission from Red Bull because it's covered in her logos. So I said to her, well, why don't we not sell the painting? We want to sell you as the artist. So why don't you become the Red Bull artist for 2023? So that was the concept. The easiest way for us to do it and get attention is to do it a little bit cleverly and a little bit differently. So the idea was to get a handwritten card, obviously with the artwork on the front of it. This gentleman is Toby Price, and that is Carla Benzie on the back with her pet pig. There's a QR code on there as well with some valuable real estate that goes straight to her website. But the whole concept here was, let's send all 30 people in the office in Melbourne the same card on the same day with the contact details straight to me so that Carla didn't get confused. And the thing was, basically, if you're interested in why this car got here and while everyone else is looking at it at the same time, first investors, give us a ring. In turn, which they did. We ended up with 2 meetings with all the Red Bull execs, and we got within, let's just call it what they say in Aussie, a bee's hoo-ha of getting her across the line as the Red Bull artist, which it sort of all fell over at the last stage, and that was to do with the guys overseas and not the guys in Australia. Yeah, so as far as getting attention and doing things a little bit differently, it worked a treat.
So fitting in with the flow of what I teach is you gave them some great energy because they got something exciting in their hands, and you connected with them, you cultivated the relationship with them that forced them to say, hey, wow, this person's different. We need to ring her. So you guys created a phenomenal campaign that pretty well had the results of them talking to her. So what you guys do is what's called private boardroom workshops. 5 or 6 people, 2 hours with you guys, 3 experts, uncover the real you, looking at starting to build your diamond brand and looking at the story that you want to tell. How many of you here would love to jump into a room for 2 hours with these 3 people to be able to really uncover who you are, what you do, and have them help pick you apart and put you on the right path to getting some of the same sort of results that these are getting here? If you are, make sure you stay to the end because it's all packaged up in the way that we can take what you're learning today and, most importantly, implement it. So great work. And it's the real reason that I'm working with you guys is the quality that what you do. And we are just so on the same page. So if you're interested in the private boardroom workshop, it's going to have more quality people show up for you at the front gate. Okay, so we've looked at how you can build your personal magnetic energy, build the buying energy. The next part of the step-by-step system that's going to get people up the chart is your empathy. Now, a lot of salespeople don't use this as a key sales tool, but when you're doing it right and have it within the system, and I'm not talking fake empathy, but knowing how you communicate and understand the people, then it's going to be a massive, massive difference. Decision Labs in 2023, January, this year, only a few months ago, blew my mind with this statistic. 47.5% of people who get on a sales call do not really know what their pain is. They don't know. They might come wanting and thinking they want something. But when you go through a process to be able to connect and collaborate with them so they clearly understand what they really need, and then they clearly understand that you are the solution, that's the big thing. For 10 years, I've been helping people with this thing, the emotive sales pendulum. Most people will start a sales conversation, and uncover what's wrong. I can fix that. And that's it. They say, I've got this problem. Yep, I can fix that. If all you are doing is just solving somebody's needs and really not getting to the next, you are operating in what I call this bit here, the red zone of death. Because they don't really know what's wrong, at least half of them. And you're going in saying, hey, I've got a solution to something that you really don't know anything about. And it doesn't work. And they don't really differentiate you because you're the same as everybody else. They've just said, oh, I can fix that. In 60 seconds, I'm going to take you through 3 hours of training. What you need to do is start swinging the pendulum to the left and have them understand and quantify how is that affecting them. Okay, I need 3 extra clients per month. How's that affecting you financially and emotively? Tell me more about that. And they'll say, well, I can't hire this. I'm not doing this. I got to work longer hours, etc. I got to lose 5 kilos. Nobody wants to lose the number. It's what it does. How's that affecting you? And they will tell you, not necessarily financially, but emotively, energy-wise, how they feel about themselves. That's how it's affecting them. And how does that make you feel? So when you're swinging the pendulum up here and they can clearly articulate the quantified pain and how it makes them feel, then it's time to let the pendulum go and it swings back the other way. I've seen so many people get in, what's wrong? I can fix it. Here's why I'm good. Here's what I do. And they're pushing the pendulum up the other way. You let the pendulum go. I have a system. I have a blueprint to deliver the results. Here's what we could do when we work together. How would it affect you if? And you quantify the valued outcome that you've created with them. It's like, wow, if we could do that, that would be great. If we did that, how would that make you feel? And you want them to clearly articulate, yes, I see the quantifiable value in working with you, and this is how it's going to make you feel. What you need to think about is they're not buying your solution, they're buying the swing, the transition from one to the other. Just write this down. The bigger the swing, the bigger the payoff. The bigger the swing, the bigger the payday. And when you can clearly work with them to understand, when you get to this point, you've helped them uncover and understand what their real pain is, and they understand that you understand them. You've virtually got the sale. You will be that person where they say, finally, somebody who gets me. Finally, somebody who understands me. Then you have the relationship, and the energy between the two of you is not salesperson buyer. It's co-creator, and you both get excited. Now, here's somebody who actually got to understand his people. Many of you may be like Gautam, and your business may rely on people turning up with a problem for you to solve. Okay, he doesn't go out and tell people, hey, you got a toothache, come in the door. It's like, well, he was solving people. They had a broken tooth, they would come through the door. And he did one of the exact same programs that I'm going to let you guys know about. He was very quiet. He was sitting there. The second week, it was like, hey, Gautam, you're very quiet. What's up? He said, I'm a dentist. I don't want to sell. Exact words. They come in, they have a problem, I fix it. So we swung the pendulum. We really uncovered what it was. The age of the people he was working with had a certain type of filling that would break down and break teeth after a length of time. Those 50 plus had exactly the same filling. And I said, do you have a lot of people come in and they come back and they come back and they come back? He said, yeah. So we created the Teeth for Life program. He became not just a dentist, but the creator of the Teeth for Life program. People would come in, they might have a broken tooth, He'd do another x-ray, say, listen, by the way, you've got another 3 or 4 that we're going to break in the next 4 years. Would you like to save some money and some pain by jumping on the Teeth for Life program, and we can replace them before they break? Would you like to save money and pain? It was almost 100% conversion rate. And for somebody who didn't sell, somebody had a mouthful of fillings that were going to break, he sold a $40,000 program paid fortnightly. Within the first 6 months, he added, and I don't type it on the slide, he added over $1 million in annualized billing income. Now, you may think to add an extra $1 million of income to your business, you would have to spend a bucket load of money on advertising and become a hotshot salesperson. He did neither. Understood his clients, changed his positioning, changed the program, and sold the value to the people that they actually needed and wanted. Amazing. From somebody who says, I'm a dentist, I don't want to sell, to add an extra $1 million a year by just being a dentist in a surgery in Geelong. Put D in if you want to have the same results as this dentist. He went from selling the services to selling the valued outcomes. Amazing. In fact, I was going to tell you about this one earlier, and I haven't had time. There's somebody I'm working with for only 2 weeks, and it's changing the mindset about sales and changing the mindset about what she was delivering. She delivers services for her clients. After our first call, we turned her around. We found 2 things that she was unique on, that she was a real leader, and the value of her services were not just her hourly rate. We turned that around. She actually made 5 new sales that totaled $37,000 in the first week. She came back and she said, I've made 5 sales. It's $37,000. I said, great, we've got to put your price up. So we increased it 50% and repackaged it. She had 1 call the following week. Now, she was anticipating that that person was going to come in and would have bought her normal one $8,000 program. He ended up, because we put the price up, it was a $12,000 program, and he took 3. So she went from an $8,000 sale to a $36,000 sale. Basically, all she did was changed her mindset, went from selling services to selling valued outcomes. Have a look at what you're doing right now and how you package and sell what it is that you do. Are you selling the real value to them or the sweat to you? And here's a quick one. Here's why people get stressed about being pushy in selling. People will say, okay, find out what their pains are, their problems are, and position the box. I call the box value as the box of stuff that you do. And we say, well, then you add more to the box to make it more valuable. And then you add more to the box to make it more valuable. And I see so many people stuff things in the box that are useless just to make the box value. People are coming into the call starting with $0 or cheap dollars in mind, and you are pushing them up to the value of the box. In the next 5 to 6 minutes, I'm going to share with you how you can work with people, collaborate, and create agreed implementable value significantly greater than the box value. They will see the value greater than just what's in the box. And you are coming down and feeling that you're coming from a place of giving more than. Your mindset will be, I know that I am delivering such great value that they're paying less than the value that I'm going to deliver. Like, that lady that just did my coaching program, in the first 2 weeks of working, the value that she's got out of it was well over $70,000. And my fees are nowhere near that. So the agreed implementable value in her whole system was up here, but the box value was much lower. How many of you would like to get away from that feeling of being pushy and feeling of giving? Put a G or a P in the chat as to whether you want to continue to be pushy. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Sell, write these words down. AIV, agreed implementable value. Agreed implementable value. Yeah, GGGGs. Is that because it's the first letter of your name, Gregory, or you got a stutter? Okay, so we've done these two so far, and they've taken a bit of time, because when you get that right, that's where the value is. Starting on those two. The next three, we are going to cover in one go. This is where the magic happens. When you've got people coming to you excited to have the conversation, you understand. You've used the sales emotive pendulum to have that conversation. Now it's like, well, hey, listen, I understand what you really need, 2 or 3 different things that you need to work on. Then here's where you start having the conversation. And this is where the magic happens. And it's all to do with the blueprint and having your own client conversion blueprint. It's not a schematic, it's a blueprint. The businesses that Greg told you about, I had a health club, I franchised a kids club into 5 countries, a weight loss program into 2. I invented an environmental product that I sold 4 million into 26 countries. I could sell stuff. I've sold millions of dollars worth of stuff. But when I turned around into, hey, listen, I'm looking to sell me, the coach, the consultant, I sucked as bad as anybody else. It was all about, I had to sell me. I'm pushing me onto people. And I wasn't that good until I invest in my education. And I was in America on my speaker training, investing a bucket load of money with one of the best. And he wheeled out this big 6 foot by 3 foot schematic. This is the 7-figure speaker system. And then all I saw was blueprint. I don't think I heard another thing the rest of the speaker training, and I was mapping out blueprints and how to do it and how to sell it. It's like my life changed when I had a blueprint that could show my system. I could sell the system and not myself. And that changed everything. The people that I work with who are their knowledge experts, they sell their knowledge, their skills, or their expertise. And when they have their blueprint, it's like, I can sell other people's stuff better than anybody else, but I can't sell me. That's what they're saying. But because they now have a system and a tool to collaborate on, it makes a massive difference. So here's one of my blueprints. And by showing people that you are the creator of the system, and I'm going to show you how to use it right now, and you can collaborate on it. By the way, you might want to draw this triangle. There are 3 levels of influence. This has come from all the neuroscience of people I've been working with. There is the imposed. Now that is where you're just dumping a whole heap of information on people. If you're sitting beside somebody, you're doing and say, hey, this is it, this is it, this is me, I'm good, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Then there is the collaborative. It's much more powerful when you work together to co-create something. They have ownership of it. And the science in 2021 from Decision Labs, the more they are involved, the more they invest. So when they're involved, they invest. And then there is the self-influence. That's the point where they get to and say, this is unreal. I want to do it. let me add it. So the goal is to get it at least into the middle. And when you use your blueprint right, it ends up looking like this. This is an exact blueprint post-discussion on a simple $10,000 total coaching program. So we identified that there were some areas that they needed work on. We talked about it. We collaborated on a solution. We quantified what that would mean to them. And then we wrote it down. So yeah, wow, if we did this, what would it mean to you? Great. Yep. If we put that into your business, fantastic. So as we went round the blueprint, we stopped, not on everything. It's not a, hey, sit down, shut up. This is what I do. It's like, let's just stop on the things that are most important to you, understand the problem, work with them on a solution, show them how it worked, and then quantify, if we did this, what would it mean to you? So by changing somebody's packaging, we look like adding an extra $6,000 per month. Having a blueprint would save them time. Remember, there's the emotive and the financial values. So saving time, saving stress, they were two emotive values. Working on some videos, books, and speaking, which is what I was doing at the time. And then helping sell, give them a sales process. And they said, well, wow, if I just boosted my conversion rates, this. So what you see here in the red are the agreed implementable value. We've worked together, we've collaborated, and yeah, we've got Dave Cook down the bottom. I can see his face, and we've had a good chat. He's seen that I have a system. He's stopped with me on each of these points, and we said, well, you've got this problem. Here's one of the things that we do. Here's somebody else who's done it. So we do data, narrative. Wasn't going to share this, and confirm. This is the flow of your conversation. Most powerful conversation flow there is. I'll write it down for you. If you like, I'll give you a real quick example, and it might be, we've got Simon here. So Simon, here's how we would achieve something like this in your business. That reminds me, it's very similar to somebody that we worked with just last year. They had similar problem. Here's how we worked with them, and here's the result that we got, financial or emotive. Could you see that working for you? Yeah, great. So if we were to do that, what sort of impact would that make on your business, your life, your whatever? Quantify it and write it down. Then, because there's clarity on the problem, clarity on the value of the solution, the priority goes up, jumps. Wow, they may not have thought it was a high priority, but you could then ask the final question. Wow, that X $1,000 that you're about to make, or less stress, or whatever it is that a priority of yours right now? Is that something that you want to work on? And they've confirmed. Now, when you've stopped, you've had a conversation, it's written in front of them, and you get to the point here, and it would be, so Simon, by the looks of it, from what you've said, if we were to put this system into your business, it looks like you're going to make an extra $24,000 per month. That's an extra $72,000 over the next 3 months. Quick question, mate. Should we get started on this sooner rather than later? Now, that's the high pressure pushy sales close. That's as high pressure as it gets, because they've collaborated, they've quantified, they've seen that. And if you've done this DNQC chat flow a few times and they've confirmed, it's really hard for them to say, no, I'm an idiot. I didn't really mean what I said. I'm not going to. It's a conversation. So when we go back to here, so we're engaging with them. When they're involved, they invest, and we quantify. We're exciting them. We're putting numbers. We're putting things in front of them that they're collaborating on, and you are going to be the prize. You're the person that delivers that. Now, there's a lot of little different psychological things that you can do to help them get excited along the way. But all of those three things there happened just in conversation because you have a blueprint. Type into the chat very quickly, what is the best way to get somebody on the same page as you? What do you reckon? Or if you want to come off mute, just come off mute. What's the best way to get somebody on the same page as you? Anybody could yell it out.
Build trust.
Build trust. Yep. Anybody else? What's going in the chat? Build trust, share personal story. Perfect. Yep. A lot of people will say ask good questions. All good. The real way, the fastest way to get somebody on the same page as you is to have a page to get on. So when you've got the blueprint and you're collaborating together, whether it's screen to screen or side by side, it feels as if you've walked around the table, sat beside them, and writing on a sheet of paper in between you. And the science behind annotation is attention goes up 60%. Retention goes up 60%. Action goes up 3 times. Where there is movement, the eyes follow. And there's a lot of science behind what we've done here. It looks a scribbling mess, but it is the most powerful sales tool you can use in your, well, basically in your arsenal. It takes the pressure off you presenting, to collaborating, and to continue that collaboration in the sales process. Why it's a sales weapon. You become the unique authority because you've got yours. Most others don't have one. It enhances the real collaboration. It has started the process. It breaks down the you-me sales barrier. It virtually eliminates objections because you're quantifying and you're overcoming those objections as you're going around. It uses more senses than not, and it takes the pressure off sales scripts. You don't have to be a hotshot salesperson. I've selected 3 to share with you from 3 pretty different industries that I'm hoping will cover. Then I'm going to ask, is there anyone here that thinks that they may not work for them? I'm happy to see what we can come up with. So I'm conscious of your time, so I'm not going to ask, what do you think this guy does? Hunter's leading air and climate control specialist. He lives in a place called Greta. 3,500 population in the middle of the Hunter Valley, Cessnock and Maitland, 50,000, 60,000 towns either side. And so he competes against the big boys. So he created his blueprint. He's totally different to anybody else out there. Their salespeople will turn up. Here's a catalog. Buy mine. I've got the best price for you. He has a blueprint to collaborate with the people. So he followed the system. When somebody comes in for a quote, there would be an email with a video. Hey, Brendan here from Coalfields Climate Control. Looking forward to meeting with you. I'm going to be coming out. We've got a great system to be able to A, B, C, and D. Looking forward to seeing you out there. He walks in and said, look, I'm different to most others. We've got a system to make sure that you are getting the absolute best air conditioner that suits you, et cetera, et cetera. And then he's got all these other unique things that he does with it. His results were phenomenal. He sent me this winter, the first winter of the pandemic. Steve, I wanted to thank you again for helping us with the blueprint, quotes, layout, structure, etc. We've had the busiest May ever. And you know what autumn and winters can be like. Over 40% above their normal revenue. He has 100% conversion rate selling air conditioners from a blueprint. You wouldn't expect that. We have just hit our first $1 million year selling air conditioners from Greta. I'm still amazed how easy it is. Thanks, mate. You've made a difference to our business. Here's the reason I do what I do. Here's Brendan, his lovely wife, MJ, dreadlocks, fantastic kids. That was him when he started. You can look, he's a guy on the tools. He is not a hotshot salesperson, but he closes every deal. This is them a month ago. They are now investors in other people's businesses. They've got that running on autopilot. Here's what I got yesterday. Yesterday was the 40th anniversary of me opening my health club, of me really starting business. And he commented on a post. It was great to work, etc. He'd be still on the tools if he hadn't connected us together. He is forever thankful. That's why I do what I do. Yeah, I can help people with their businesses, but the real passion is how the hell can I help people change their lives? And he's a classic story that implemented, did everything, and they have an amazing business and an amazing life. Taking it to the other end of the scale, this guy is a professional salesperson. He sells things. He's in solar financing. He came to me and said, Steve, mate, it's really tight out there. I'm struggling because everybody's just selling, it's the finance. I said, well, come do the program. We'll see what we come up with. I'm pretty sure we can. So listen and think, how could this work for me? So we took the focus off just competing on what everybody else does. We took him out of the brown box. Yeah, we got the platform energy finance blueprint, but your partner in growing a successful solar company. We don't just sell finance. Here's what we can do to support you. And they had all of these things and they had a blueprint. We have a system for you to grow your business, not we can do a home loan. We can do a business solar financing loan. Here's what happened the first time he used it. He actually left this on a phone message and I didn't listen to it for a few days. Silly me. Steve, I've been a professional salesman for 15 years and using the blueprint to sell has taken my results to a whole new level. I used it on the phone and closed a $500,000 per month deal with a blueprint competing against so many others in the industry. So whether you're a professional salesperson or somebody that's a tradie on the tools, and this last person that I'm going to share with you, then I'm going to share with you how you can get the same results that these people have gotten. A physiotherapist came to me saying, Steve, my therapist won't sell. They don't want to be pushy. They don't want to say, hey, buy an extra 5 appointments. Now, Greg said that I was a professional athlete and I was the same as all of them. I'd go to whoever I needed to go to put my body back together again. And I would get maybe 6 appointments into a 10 appointment pack. And I'd say, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'll leave. The next 4 appointments are just paying off your Porsche because they're just selling appointments. So we worked with her and it was the 3D back care program. So it was the pain reduction program. So it's a full system. They would reduce the pain, reduce the cause, and prevent it. Now, the therapist said, well, that's what they should do. But they were trying to sell appointments, not the outcomes. And say, well, listen, we've got a complete program that's going to help you reduce your pain, get rid of the cause, and prevent you coming back in 6 months' time in more pain, paying twice as much money again. And the therapist said, that's what they should be doing. We gave them a framework to have the right conversation that they were comfortable with. Didn't give them sales training. The results were amazing. Pre-blueprint, they were an average of 2.3 appointments per client. So if we've got anybody here in the health, wellness, lifestyle coaching industry, when you have your system and your blueprint, this will really help. With the blueprint, they jumped to a 7.4 appointment per client. That was basically 3 times the income and doubled the referrals. 3 times the income, no extra advertising, no sales training, just a framework so people could actually communicate, understand what they needed, and deliver what they needed. The reason they doubled referrals, here's a quick question. This comes out of our training. I've got time to squeeze it in for you. How many of you spend time helping people understand what you want them to say about you? Because all these people were saying about PhysioSpot, oh, you need to go to PhysioSpot, they're good physios. Well, yeah, I know a good physio. Well, yeah, they said they're a good physio. You're just a good physio. Whereas when you have your unique outcome package blueprint, they can talk about you uniquely and you will jump to the top of the list in referrals. Proven, it works, it makes sense. So ideally, you can understand most of these people did not become hotshot salespeople. The system allows you to be more of you. That's the whole thing. You don't have to be fake. You don't have to be pushy. It gets all of that out of the road. But because you've got a framework that you can follow, you can engage, you can serve, create a bigger impact, as well as build your business, you don't have to be the hotshot salesperson. Put a capital B. You've had a look at a few. Put a capital B in the chat if you think a blueprint would enhance your business. Got a few numbers going up there. Cool. Of course, this is what we've gone through. We've spoken about building the energy, your energy, buying energy, understanding what the people really do need and helping them understand what it is. How to engage with the people in a conversation, not a presentation. How to excite them by collaborating on quantifiable results, financial and emotive, and how not to sell, but just slide straight into enrollment, continue to collaborate. So ideally, you've been looking at your ahas and taking some notes. I'm going to ask, before we let you know how you can get these awesome results, 1 or 2 people to come off camera or come off mute and just share. I'm going to stop share for a second. Just what's the biggest aha? What's the biggest takeaway that you've had so far today? And what sort of an impact would that make? We've got a shy group here, Greg.
Yeah, and I'm not going
Am
to.
I putting the pressure on people not just having to sit and watch? No, mate, this is interactive.
Yeah, and I'm not going to jump in and save them either.
Gents, fantastic. I think that one of the great takeaways is the significant difference of when you're sharing on a piece of paper, the blueprint, or on screen, the increase in attention, retention, and of course, taking action. That's just outstanding.
Yeah, we've got a few there. Fantastic. And it is. It feels as if you are really genuinely collaborating. And because you are. And you're here because you want to get better at what you do, not because you want to be a bastard and sell stuff to people that don't want to buy from you. You generally want to help people because you believe in what you do. And that's the big thing. We've had the pendulum, the page, the blueprint, some excellent comments in there. Fantastic. So I'm going to go back to share again. There we go.
Steve, you're all over the timing. We've got a few minutes left.
Yep. We're just well, we started 5 late. We're going to finish 5 late. That's it. I am right over the timing. Okay. I'm going to skip this one. The biggest expense that Tony Robbins says in business is not all the other expenses, but not having the skills to sell enough to get where you want to be. Not having the skills to get you where you want to be. And this lady here, there might be somebody like this in the room. She had been doing my free sessions for 3 years, and I finally kicked her in the bum and said, no more. You've got to come and do the program. The first week of doing the program, we changed her positioning and she signed up 3 brand new clients. She went from being basically a business VA to the business growth system specialist. We worked out that if all she did was get those 5 clients 3 years ago and keep them, she would have added an extra $90,000. It cost her $90,000 not to do the program. And that's something that I don't want to happen to you. So what Greg, Andy, Steve, myself have got together for the first time ever, we've got the Enrollment Edge Accelerator. I'm going to take a few minutes to slowly go through so you get it and know the value, because everybody that you have seen on the screen with the results that they've got have gone through most of what we've got here right now. The first part is how to attract, connect, convert quality clients with less stress. The foundation of my part of the program is the blueprint conversion system. Okay, so that's the online part of the program. It's a hybrid program. We're going to be online and me personally working with you. The Ubuntu part, they're going to be working with you to uncover, express, and amplify you. Everything you saw them do for the other people, they will be working with you. The 2-hour Ubuntu closed door boardroom with the 3 experts and the LinkedIn review with Steve. You get that as a part of the program. Everything you've seen today, you get. Sales confidence, personal and business breakthroughs, and exponential growth. And that is all done in personalized group mentoring. Small group, weekly with me. The blueprint conversion system is in 4 parts. You can access anytime, do them in your own time, do them in the first weekend if you want. We will be looking at creating your unique authority positioning and building your own personal magnetic energy. If you want to have the skills to be able to connect, collaborate, and present to people, for those who were here right at the beginning and heard Greg say, I got 20 years in and out of TV, hosting a network show on Channel 9, exec producer for Warner's, got a reasonable idea on how to help you be able to communicate you with energy. Create a high-value system and boost the buying energy so they're excited to come to you. The magic, the piece de resistance, your client conversion blueprint. Those people that you saw that had them, whether it's the selling air conditioners, energy, finance, you're a health provider, you can do it with your blueprint. If you sell your knowledge, your skills, or your expertise and you don't have a blueprint, your business isn't going to skyrocket. And how to have those conversations, how to go through the framework, and how to create your, what you wrote down, sales bliss. Quick recap of what you get to do with Greg, Andy, and Steve. Closed door, boardroom intensive, 5 to 6 people, 2 hours, 3 experts. It's a work on you, not a workshop. You're not going to be presented to. They are going to work with and work on you. You get to talk with Steve. He's going to review your LinkedIn profile and give you ways that you can improve. How are we looking so far? We got a thumb up to say, yep, this is pretty cool so far. Personalized group mentor. This is where the magic happens. Normally, this program is just 6 weeks. For you guys, because we're working with Greg and the boys, it's an 8-week program, but you get access to the group forever. So you can come back and do the next program and the next program wherever you want. You basically got the goal pass. The calls are recorded if you can't make it. You've got a face group there. You've got advanced training, the live hot seats. You saw 7-figure businesses come out of these group programs. We've created 7-figure business just out of the hot seats in the group mentoring. No one's left behind. You've got the Q&A. Starts Friday, September. There's September the 8th. They're 9 a.m. Sydney time. Come and join. They get a lot of work done. So what we've got is the Enrollment Accelerator package. I do need to show what's in the box. I've got to give you the value of what's actually in the box. Not going to be stuffed with a whole heap of stuff. The Blueprint Conversion System is normally my $2,000 program. And Greg, you know that this is normally in US dollars. I'm normally selling this in USD. It's not. All of these are Australian. The 8-week personalized group mentoring, the work with Ubuntu, total, it's around $5,000. That's Australian dollars. And you know, because my goal, Greg's goal, is to make the price not an objection, to make it as affordable, to get you started. And that's why we're doing this as our joint venture together to make it as easy as possible. So it's the Ubuntu preferred price. It's 1,500 AUD. And if you want to make it nice and easy, it's 888. Now, Steve's going to drop a link in there. Well, I've got a couple of other things to tell you. We are right on the 12. So when you look at that 1,500 there, or get started for 888, if all this did for you would make you more comfortable to be able to position yourself and attract a higher quality of client, would it be worth it? If you had a framework that you knew that every call you got on, you were going to enjoy and you were going to help the person, and it's most likely that they're going to see the great value that you do and virtually ask to buy, would the 1,500 be worth it? Of course it would. If you had a blueprint that positions you as the unique person, so you could collaborate with them and show them this is the value of working with me, you'd never have to sell yourself ever again. You never have to say, hey, I'm good, buy me, because it's there with them. Using the pendulum to completely understand what it is they really do need and want from you. That there is not an investment in just the course. It's an investment in your future and life-changing. And it could be as simple as one call. This guy here is an Inc. 500 consultant, the host of Mentor to Millions. We had one call. We got started. The blueprint system is amazing. I used what you said on our first call, and he closed a $360,000 deal. Because of that, and actually because the numbers that are on here, this may be for all of you, I'm going to give you all a single call. A one-on-one call. You can take it at the beginning, you can take it in the middle, you can take it at the end. I will work with you one-on-one to refine what it is that you do and need to do to be able to skyrocket you. That in itself is pretty well worth just the single price alone. So your choice today, and I put these together because they are quite fun. You can do nothing. You can push the ball uphill, or you can push the other thing uphill. That's your choice. Or if you believe in you, then you're prepared to invest in you, believe in you. If you know that you deliver value, if you believe in what it is that you do and you are coachable, then basically take the next step and we should work together. Really can. Because like I told my people in the health club when we first opened, as I said, 40 years ago yesterday, do whatever it takes to get them started. Because if they say, yes, I love it, I'll be back, I would see them up the street 6 months later, 6 kilos heavier, and the only exercise they would get would be to run across the road to avoid seeing me. So that's why when I spoke to Greg, I said, what are we going to do to help these guys get started? He said, make it irresistible. So here it is. It's all there packaged out for you. I'm going to leave it up on the screen. It's a very simple 1,500 investment. If you want to break it down, Steve, I think, has put the links in. If you want to join, those of you who are ready to get going, you can get access straight away. You can get the course program, get into the Facebook group. And we've actually got a call with the last group on Friday. You can come and join. Or you may have some questions, and that's okay. I broke all the rules today about doing a presentation to sell the crap out of it. No, Greg and I said we are going to give them extreme value. And that's what our goal was today, was to give you things that you could implement and use straight away. So if you think there's something that might work for you, but you're not sure, there's a call link in there. Grab a call. We can chat about whatever it is, and we can see if it's right for you. The offer ends Sunday, wherever you are in the world, midnight your time, wherever it is. Why am I doing that? If you haven't made a decision, if you book a call before then and it's not till next week, that's okay. But if you haven't made a decision in 4 days, you're not an implementer, and this program is probably not right for you. Okay, that's why I put the deadline on. Make a decision, come and join us. Make sure you save the chat, make sure you save the links and come and join. You should have the links. You should have it written down, the value. I'm going to open it up for Q&A. And at starting at the 05 or the 35 and finishing at 05, that is 90 minutes, Gregory, on the dot.
Very good. Thank you very much. So, Steve, I'm conscious it's the middle of the workday. So anybody that would like to stay, ask questions, interact, get some energy from Steve or from the Ubuntu team, please hang around. But please also feel free to go off and enjoy the rest of your day. There will be a recording. You will get that in the next few days. And thank you for your attendance.
Cool. And I'm here till the last question is answered.
Cool. Any questions?
Oh, good.
All right. Thanks,
Excellent,
Mr.
Mark.
Not a question, but I enjoyed that. Thank you for your time, but I need to go.
Oh, okay. Cool. Fantastic.
Thanks, Mark. See ya.
Excellent.
Thanks for jumping in, Dom.
So, Brossman, how are you after all this time? What did you think of the change of direction that we are now doing compared to we were starting video marketing when we were on the boat?
Yeah, I mean, God, it's been so long, Steve. And it was a great presentation.